1, 2, 3, rapid fire. Why do we celebrate Easter? Go.
Um,
Well, like our family in general or the world? Like, I need specifics. I need you to be like detailed.
to celebrate the rising of Jesus Christ.
Jesus is rising because Jesus died for our sins.
And when you think of Easter, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
A bunny.
Okay. And Johnny?
Eggs. And an Easter beagle.
I think of bunnies that wear like pastel colored vests because they're cute. Like bunnies with vests on. Cute.
We celebrate Easter.
Because eggs.
When I think of Easter, 3 things come to mind. Eggs, bunnies, and Jesus. Or religion, let's say. And more or less in that order. And so I've spent a lot of time wondering, how did a holiday based in the Christian faith about the resurrection of Jesus Christ become a holiday littered with bunnies and eggs? I do feel like it is a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to just blame capitalism and how it's all about selling candies and mall photos and all of that. So when you think about Easter, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Go.
Corporate America.
And money and baskets and
Yeah. And they just want money. America wants money, and this is the way they'll get money for something that's supposed to be a religious affiliated holiday.
And I think to a certain degree, sure, absolutely. But I'm really interested in the origins. It could be anything. You can make candies out of anything. It doesn't have to be eggs, and it certainly doesn't have to be bunnies. The origin of eggs and bunnies in relation to Easter are convoluted, and the history tells us that it could be pagan or it could be religious. So let's start with eggs. On one hand, it is thought that in certain pagan traditions, eggs were representative of fertility and birth. Given that Easter lands in spring, we could see how the two might become connected. On the other hand, the religious hand, let's say, it is said that eating eggs was not allowed on the week leading up to Easter. And for those who practice or are familiar with Lent or fasting leading up to Easter, you can see how this isn't such an out-of-the-box idea. Anyway, it is said that the eggs that were laid the week before Easter, or Holy Week, were saved, decorated, and then given to children as gifts. Kind of sounds familiar. So moving on to bunnies. We're a little bit less sure about where this tradition comes from, but the Easter bunny is thought to have become common in the 19th century, and some believe that the idea was brought to the States by German immigrants in the 1700s. This is interesting because in parts of Germany now, it isn't an Easter bunny, it's an Easter fox. But it is also thought that bunnies have become a symbol of Easter because rabbits are quite the procreators, and the birth of a bunch of bunnies is quite literally a symbol of new life. And that symbol of new life, depending on whether you take the religious or pagan aspect of it, can be representative of the resurrection of Jesus Christ or of the season of spring. So whether you lean more towards the religious or pagan side of things, it is clear that when it comes to Easter, eggs and bunnies are all just a matter of symbolism. And yes, lots and lots of capital gains.
Because Jesus died. And then he lived. And then he was on a cross. And then he disappeared. And then everybody was like, oh my God. And then the bunnies came out. And then the grass grew.
Thanks so much for watching. If you got this far, please consider subscribing, liking, leaving a comment. It's all just good stuff, and I appreciate it. Happy Easter.